every night. The rhythm of that old Singer sewing machine was the heartbeat of our house. It wasn't just a sound. It was a constant, low hum of endurance, a lullaby of sacrifice. It was the sound of my mother's tireless love. My father, a good man named Michael, had always been our strength. He was a dock worker, his hands rough and powerful, capable of lifting the heaviest cargo from the ships that sailed into our port. But when sickness took hold, a cruel illness that weakened his once mighty frame, he was left unable to work, unable to provide. We had nothing. It was then my mother, Sarah, showed her true strength. She sold the only valuable thing she owned, her cherished wedding earrings, simple gold hoops but priceless in sentiment. She used the meager money for a down payment on a battered, used delivery truck. It wasn't just a vehicle, it was our last fragile hope. But a hope, as I would soon learn, can shatter faster than glass. I was only 5 years old when the police showed up at our doorstep. A semi-truck, a treacherous patch of road, a split second of unimaginable fate. And that little delivery truck was gone. And with it, so was Michael. That day, my mother didn't just become a widow. She became a fortress. She locked away her vibrant life, traded her once colorful flowing scarves for the stark simplicity of white linen, and began a silent vigil of relentless work that would last decades. This story isn't just about a broken promise or the foolish dreams of a young girl. It's about the secret cost of my mother's silent devotion and the impossible choice I had to make to honor it. My mother, Sarah, didn't just start sewing after my father's death. She transformed it into a desperate, all-consuming, permanent way of life. She secured piecework from a garment factory. Hundreds of baseball caps had to be stitched together on her simple machine. The pay was minuscule, mere pennies per cap. But the deadlines were brutal, unforgiving. I'd come home from school to a quiet house, the stove cold, the kitchen empty, because she couldn't spare a single minute away from that relentless crank of the machine. Her hands, once so graceful, grew rough, calloused. Yet even in her poverty, shrouded in her simple white linen, she remained a vision of American grace and quiet beauty. People noticed. Distant relatives and certain family friends would often cast speculative glances her way. The quiet possibility of a second marriage always lingering in the hushed conversations. But she refused them all. She chose me. She buried her youth, her striking looks, her every chance at personal happiness under that stark, plain cloth, choosing me, her daughter, Rachel, over everything. As I grew into my teens, she'd watch me with an almost desperate anxiety. "Pray for me, honey," she'd tell the neighbors, her voice barely a whisper. "Pray I can see Rachel married into a respectable home." I, of course, was oblivious to the financial and social complexities that bound my mother. I was a girl lost in fantasy. I didn't want mere respectability. I wanted romance. I'd sneak up to the roof of our small house, gazing down the dusty street, imagining a handsome young man, a charming cowboy on a beautiful horse, riding into our town, just for me, to sweep me away. But every day, I'd come back down, disappointed, to the relentless clack-clack-clack of my mother's machine. then came the night that changed everything. The rich family across the street, the Nicholson family, was hosting a lavish wedding for their oldest son, Ethan. My mother and I, unexpected guests, were invited. During the ceremonial vow exchange, as the bride and groom exchanged their first looks, I leaned forward, eager to catch a glimpse of the happy couple. My eyes met not his, but a reflection in a large decorative mirror adorning the wall. In a dark corner of that mirror's reflection, a pair of eyes, deep, black, and dangerously bright, were staring directly at my image in the glass. I nearly gasped. Those eyes belonged to Aidan, Ethan's younger brother. In that precise moment, something shifted in my chest. If I hadn't looked into that mirror, maybe I could have saved myself years of heartbreak. Aidan's eyes followed me the entire night, a silent, powerful gaze that made my heart flutter. And the very next morning, he was at our doorstep. He brought a dinner platter from the wedding. "My mom sent this for you, Mrs. Sarah," he said, his voice smooth, his eyes meeting mine for a fleeting second. I washed his dishes, my hands trembling slightly, and as I handed the empty tray back, he gave me a subtle, private, flirtatious smile. I understood the silent message, a promise in his eyes. Using the pretense of seeing the new bride, I quickly befriended her, and soon, Aidan's sister-in-law became our unwitting accomplice, a convenient buffer for our secret meetings. We would meet on the sly, stealing precious moments in the Nicholsons' elaborate living room while his sister-in-law kept watch. Our forbidden love. Aidan soon left for the State University in Atlanta to pursue engineering, a bright future stretching out before him. My life became a waiting game. I stitched little stars onto my dowry linens, each stitch a whispered hope, counting the days until his promised return. I was happy with these empty promises, a fool clinging to a dream. But my mother was not foolish. She knew what I was learning the hard way. You cannot stitch a burlap patch onto silk velvet. The Nicholson family had old money, generations of wealth and status. We had debt and the weight of constant, grinding poverty. Then, a proposal came. It was from a good, stable, middle-class family, Mr. Hayes's son, David. My mother, without hesitation, accepted it instantly. She didn't ask me. She simply looked at me, her eyes filled with an exhausted finality, and I knew the discussion was over. I begged her, tears streaming down my face. "I can't marry him. I promised Aidan." My mother stared at me, her face pale, her voice sharp with a fear I now understood. "Aidan, are you out of your mind? I have clawed my way through life for years to protect my honor and yours. You want me to go to the Nicholsons? To beg them for the hand of the impoverished daughter of a dead laborer? Do you think Aidan's mother will even speak to me? We are their servants, Rachel. You are a poor man's daughter. Who put these ridiculous notions in your head? Forget his promises. We are not putting a hole in the ship that is finally carrying us to safety." Her helplessness, her raw, unspoken pain finally broke my heart. She was right. The class divide was an unbridgeable chasm. I realized that my romantic folly would mean more years of grinding poverty and, worse, the utter humiliation of the woman who had sacrificed her entire existence for me. A good proposal was a gift she earned with every single stitch. Aidan came home for break, and when his sister-in-law told him about my engagement, he was furious. That night, under the cover of darkness, he scaled our garden wall. I woke up suddenly to see a dark silhouette at my bedside. He whispered fiercely, "I have your letters. Break this engagement, or I will ruin you. You marry that man, and I will ride in and take you from the wedding procession. Aidan is my name, and I don't forgive betrayal." Terror gave me clarity. I whispered back, desperate, "Go. Now. Do what you must. But if my mother wakes up, she will die of shame." Aidan vanished back into the night. The next day, I swallowed my fear and confessed everything to my mother. She went straight to the Nicholson house, not to beg for my hand, but to make a desperate plea to the sister-in-law. "Please," she pleaded, her voice hoarse with pain. "I know you were a part of this. Either convince your in-laws to ask for Rachel's hand honorably, or make Aidan see that he is ruining the honor of a decent, poor family. He is playing with my life's work." The sister-in-law immediately faced the harsh reality. Her mother-in-law flatly refused. The Nicholsons would never accept me. Realizing the full scope of her youthful mistake, she cornered Aidan. "You're ruining this girl's future and shaming your own family. You know your parents will never let you marry her. If you drag a respectable widow's name through the mud, you are no better than a common thief." Finally, the undeniable class reality and the threat to his own family's reputation broke through Aidan's rage. He conceded. He didn't ride in on a horse that day. He simply faded away. I married David Hayes. It wasn't the romantic fantasy I'd dreamed of. No cowboy on a horse, no stolen glances. But it was a quiet, stable life. It was the security my mother had sacrificed her entire existence to buy for me. And every time I look at my safe, well-kept home, I see the true price. The beautiful, silver-streaked hair of my mother, earned 1 penny and 1 cap stitch at a time. And with that, our flow comes to an end for today. This is where we say goodbye to our listeners. If this story of sacrifice and a mother's relentless love resonated with you, please take a moment to hit that like button. Every like helps our story flow reach more people. Don't forget to tell us in the comments what part of Rachel's choice surprised you the most. And if you haven't yet, join our community by hitting subscribe and ringing that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the American experience. Thank you for listening. We'll see you in the next flow.